Revenge is a dish best served steel. Pittsburgh Steelers win 27-14 over the Cleveland Browns, eliminating them from the playoffs, improving to 10-3, and having a 2/3 game lead over the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North, and still keeping ourselves in contention for that AFC first seed. It's Steelers Sunday. We beat the Browns, and we looked actually good doing it, even without George Pickens. Let's go!
Here we go. Here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's going to Super Bowl.
All right, I was worried today. The minute I saw George Pickens was going to be inactive today, I worried that the Pittsburgh Steelers might not have everything it takes. This could be another de facto trap game. But in early, we go down the field a little bit, and kick a field goal where it looked like we were driving towards the red zone. And then Cincinnati comes back and on a large third down play, Jameis Winston rolls out of the pocket, throws it downfield, and next thing you know, it is 7-3 Browns, and the Steelers' offense for the first quarter-ish was kind of skittish, was not really working it through, but eventually things worked out the right way as Pittsburgh, I believe, scored 24 unanswered points, ending up with 27 points in the game, another Chris Boswell field goal, and 3 touchdowns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers get this win. And it feels so good because a couple weeks ago, the Browns, coming out of Thursday Night Football in the middle of the snow, talked a lot of crap because they got a trap game win against the Steelers. And with George Pickens' hamstring being out, with us saving him for big games coming up, which we'll talk about here in a second, we had to get some more people relied on the offensive side, whether it be Van Jefferson, whether it be Pat Freiermuth, whether it be Mike Williams. The running backs had to be a little bit more involved, or at least had to pick up their weight, given that the Cleveland Browns were stacking the line of scrimmage. But everybody on offense after the first quarter really came out and came through, minus a Cordell Patterson bad fumble in the fourth. But the Pittsburgh Steelers caused 3 turnovers this game, a muff punt, a 2 interception of Jameis Winston, and we're just able to handle this game. This looked like a team who's poised to make a Super Bowl run, a deep playoff run. Their defense was bend, not break. It created multiple turnovers. Their offense eventually got going with Russ and was able to maneuver itself and put up 27 points. Like, if you told people at the beginning of the season that are Steeler fans, hey, 27-point game, you'd be like, oh, thank God our offense blew up. Well, today it's like 27-point game, man. I feel like we kind of didn't do the best we could. But that's just because the Steelers' offense has been playing so well lately, and today was no different overall. In my opinion, the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing some of the best football in the NFL, and they're going to have a chance to prove it here over these next 3 weeks. Next week, we're playing at Philadelphia, I believe, playing the Eagles, and that's going to be a gigantic game. They won their game today, so they moved to 11-2. We're 10-3. Pennsylvania in a rivalry, Saquon Barkley. I think the Steelers, if we can shut down Saquon with our solid defensive front, we could easily beat the Eagles because they don't have too much else going on besides Barkley. And there's one thing the Steelers have been able to do this year, it's neutralize people who are runners, neutralize the bigger threat type people. So I think the Steelers, it's not a given. The Eagles have a pretty decent defense. I think it's going to be a juggernaut type of a game, but I could see the Steelers beating the Eagles. Then we move to the Ravens. This game can be played at Baltimore, and the Ravens, we beat them up already. Like I said here earlier this year, Mike T is Lamar's granddaddy and Harbaugh's daddy. We just got their number. Lamar looks like a lost puppy whenever he plays the Steelers, and I think we should be able to beat them as well. Now, there's a chance we go 1-1 of those games, but if we beat Baltimore, given that we have the standings right now, 10-3, we're in, 2 games ahead with a tiebreaker. We beat Baltimore, we pretty much win the division outright. We win these next 2 games, the division is ours. Then we move to Christmas Day, 3 games in 10 days, ending with the Kansas City Chiefs, hosting them at Acrisure Stadium. And I gotta say, this game should easily be the Steelers with how poorly the Chiefs have been playing this year. But given how poorly they're playing, they're also a one-loss team. What's going to give? But again, I think this is a pretty winnable game at home for Pittsburgh. I think the offensive line has been letting Mahomes down this year, and I think we are battle-tested and ready on Christmas Day to put them away and make a play at a 2 or a first seed for the AFC. And then we play the Bengals, who may be playing Joe Burrow and stuff, but they also might be like, hey, we're out of the playoffs. Let's not risk Joe Burrow to a last-game injury. Let's get some other people some looks and ideas. And we saw last week it could be up and down game if Burrow's playing, but if Burrow's not playing last game, could be a win, could be a loss. All depends on where we're at in the AFC picture. But we're coming up to the gauntlet of games, and I'm excited. I'm confident, man. This defense is causing turnovers. This offense, even on a slow day, put up 27 points. And I just think we are just set up to keep succeeding. I'm now at the point to where I'm saying 27-point days is like, man, I feel like we left points on the board. I didn't think that was going to happen as a Steelers fan ever, But here we are. We're moving towards the end of the season. We're 10-3. We're definitely in the playoffs. The playoffs are 100% there. You know who the playoffs aren't there for? The Cleveland Browns, because we just eliminated you jabronis. And yeah, I'm excited. Next week's a big week. We're going to be watching the game live along here on the channel for me and anybody who wants to join. So that'll be my return to live stream, live reacting with the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if my schedule works out correctly, I'll live stream all of the next games the rest of the season moving into the playoffs. But tell me, Steelers fans, how did that revenge feel on the Browns? Do you just want to be like, muzzle that puppy, put it back in the kennel where you're not even in the playoffs anymore, Browns? Boo! But we got big games ahead of us. We got big things to focus on ahead of us. And that's the Philadelphia Eagles next week. And that's the AFC North title well within our reach, as well as our play towards the Super Bowl. I think we can get the Here We Go Steelers song going here. We're going to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I feel it happening. This team is for real. And yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Super Bowl.
Here we go. Here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's going to Super